Well, hello, everybody. Lakeisha McKnight is here. Welcome back to Leadership TKO, the night show via podcast. I am your host, Lakeisha McKnight, and the Leadership TKO brand is, of course, housed under the limited liability company entitled the International Leadership Education and Development Company that's based here in Chesapeake, Virginia. Right now, what I'm going to be doing, it's a little, of course, it's actually closer to 10 o'clock where this is actually being actually live and playing live. We just concluded a great interview on the Global Reality Show for Leadership TKO. We just concluded that, and so there's been an idea that's been dropped into my mind. I know it was no one else but God that did it. And so right now what I'm doing is I'm sharing in our group. It's a special group we have on Facebook that I am live on the podcast platform. All right, I'm live on the podcast platform. Join me by clicking on the link below. I have an important update to share. Okay, so we're going to be posting inside of our special group there so they can come and they can join me here live while I'm here on the platform. So again, I'm appreciative of each and every one of you that's here, that's participating. One thing I can definitely say, okay, one thing I can say is that God is on the move. He is definitely on the move. We're appreciative of the fact that, man, we just realized that there are some of you from Norway and some of you from Hungary that's listening in to this podcast. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Share, share, share. Go ahead and share this podcast and let people know, in your countries, wherever you're from, because I know there's some of you from the Virgin Islands, from Barbados, some of you from Australia, Sweden, France, Korea, China, the Philippines, Pakistan. Man, I mean, there's so many of you that's listening into this podcast. So again, I'm appreciative. Man, I'm truly appreciative of what God is doing. I mean, it amazes me every single time. He just opens up new doors, and it's just an honor. It's an honor really to be here before you. So, what we're going to be doing gradually is just making some updates and some changes. But before I tell you about the changes, I want to encourage you to visit the website to learn more about Leadership TKO. And the website is www.leadershiptko.com. leadershiptko.com. And if you're listening live, if you want to leave a comment, feel free to do so. We do have a platform, a way in which I can see your messages. I can see your interactions with me. I know when you're saying things. I know when you have a question. So when I'm live, you can do that. Now, of course, this is not the normal time where I'm actually doing this. It's about 9:57 right now, p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like I said, we were just concluding and wrapping up a reality show episode. We're doing a video conference, and we have a reality show that we do on Thursdays now. Okay, reality show that we do on Thursdays. It starts. Normal time is at 8:30, but we were a little bit behind schedule because of technology issues. We know that there were some women that were supposed to be hearing and listening and watching into that particular episode, and that's the reason why we were so delayed. It was almost as if there was a super huge hindrance or something trying to hinder us from doing it, but we were able to overcome, and we were able to still conduct the video conference. So for those of you who participated in that video conference, hopefully you've enjoyed what you heard and what you saw. We try to be as real as possible when it comes to these things. So thank you, and again, thank you so much for following and being connected to Leadership TKO. And as I was sharing with them during the video conference, what we're going to be doing, because normally we're here Monday through Fridays at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just talking about key issues as it pertains to a campaign that we're on. And this is a Born to Lead Global Women's Leadership Campaign, right, that we're doing. And this campaign, again, it launched at the end of February, early March. And this is a part of the subdivision of Leadership TKO, which is Leadership TKO for Women. Now, if you want to learn more about the subdivision, feel free to visit. There's a specific website for the subdivision, which is leadershiptkoforwomen.com. TKOconvention.com. And of course, the Born to Lead campaign is all a part of that. So what we're doing with this campaign is twofold. Number one, bringing awareness to women's issues, and of course, solutions that we can create or that already exists as it pertains to women. And then the second part is unifying women and training up women to be great leaders. And a part of being a great leader is supporting one another and loving one another genuinely. And so that's what we're doing with this campaign. And I would love for you, no matter where you're from right now listening in, I would love for you to be a part of this campaign with us. Represent your country with courage, with all honor, with pride, right? If you're from China, represent China with pride. If you're from Pakistan, represent Pakistan with pride. Australia, pride. United States, pride. Represent well. But as a whole, as a species, we can stand together and we can boldly declare through this campaign that we are women and that we were born to lead. And I tell you that from the bottom of my heart, that I truly believe that God has some amazing things in store for each and every one of you connected to this campaign. Share with your aunts, your sisters, your grandmothers, right? Your children, even if you have female children, get them in to listen in and to participate. As a matter of fact, we have a convention coming up on May 27th in Portsmouth, Virginia. Would love to see you there, and I have a gift for you. When you go and visit the website, which is leadershipTKOconvention.com, and you enter the code Mother's Day, and that's without a space, without an apostrophe, without a capital letter. It's just Mother's Day. Enter that code in there when you go and register, and you'll have a $125 gift on behalf of the company. That means you can enter the convention for absolutely $0 because we believe in investing in you. And it was on my heart. I was twisting and turning one night, and I was just like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do this. And then God was just like, what are you doing? Are you sowing into their lives? Because I'm going to allow you to reap the harvest. Sow into their lives. And so I can't outbeat giving God. So I was being obedient, okay, and still being obedient. So feel free to visit leadershipTKOconvention.com. And when you begin the registration process, there should be a discount or promotional code area. Enter in the code Mother's Day, and you should be able to receive your gift on behalf of the company, on behalf of God. Okay? So again, thank you so very much for being present here and staying connected to the Leadership TKO night show and brand overall. Now, as you can see from the title of this episode, we're talking about anxiety relief and women. We're talking about a little bit about this yesterday as well, but I just want to give you a few more other tips. Okay, just a few more. I know there are so many out there, okay? So many out there to really guide you along as it pertains to anxiety, because anxiety is huge. I tell you, there are so many women who have it, but they're not really doing anything about it to try to address and alleviate the concern. And that's what we're doing tonight and throughout this week. I'm sharing with you a couple of tips from some professionals, one of which is, I want to say her name is Margarita, and I don't want to mess up her last name. It's Tartavosky. Okay, there you go. I'm just going to say Miss Margarita because I don't want to mess her name up. There are about 9 tips that I want to share with you from her, and it's from the psychcentral.com website that these tips are being given from. So again, I'm not acting as though I am the super expert at health issues, but I know that these tips work because I apply them whenever I feel anxious at any point. Okay, number 1, take a deep breath. We might have touched on this yesterday, but take a deep breath. This is important. Okay, it works. Begin this practice. Just try slowly inhaling to a count of 4. So you just count 1, 2, 3, 4, and inhale, filling your belly first, and then your chest. Gently hold your breath to a count of 4, and slowly exhaling to a count of 4. and repeat that several times. Repeat that several times, okay? When you do this, I know it works. Listen, deep breathing definitely works for me, and I know that it can work for you. A second tip for alleviating or relieving anxiety is to accept that you're anxious. There's so many people that are in denial. Come on, ladies. Come on, sisters. Let's just, admit, when something is wrong, admit when you're feeling anxious, it's anxiety. That's what it is. Okay? Accepting that you're anxious doesn't mean liking it or resigning yourself to a miserable existence. It just means that you benefit from accepting reality as it is. But in that moment, reality, includes anxiety. So when you feel it, do something about it. Don't dwell on it. You don't have to accept it as your lifestyle, but it just could be a season in your life where you're just feeling that way. Here's a third tip. Realize that your brain is playing tricks on you. That your brain is playing tricks on you. And she says this, and I'm just going to quote what she says. Psychiatrist Kelly Hyland, she says, has seen firsthand how a person's brain can make them believe they're dying of a heart attack when they're actually having a panic attack. She called an experience she has as a medical student. She recalled an experience she had as a medical student. And the medical student says this: I had seen people having heart attacks and looked this ill on medical floors for medical reasons, and it looked exactly the same. A wise, kind, and experienced psychiatrist came over to the patient and gently, calmly reminded him that he is not dying, that it will pass, and his brain is playing tricks on him. It calmed me too, and we both just stayed with him until the panic attack was over. So, again, be careful because your mind can play tricks on you. Number 4, here's another way to relieve anxiety. Question your thoughts. Okay? Question your thoughts. So here's some questions that you can ask yourself to challenge the thoughts that you're having. Here's a question. Is this worry realistic? Is this really likely to happen? If the worst possible outcome happens, what would be so bad about that? Could I handle that? What might I do? Is this really true, or does it just seem that way? What might I do to prepare for whatever may happen? So those are some questions that you can be asking yourself. And number 5, use a calming visualization. For example, here's one. Picture yourself on a riverbank or outside in a favorite park, field, or beach. Watch leaves pass by on the river or clouds pass by in the sky. Assign your emotions, thoughts, and sensations to the clouds and leaves and just watch them float by. Here's another one that I'm going to mention. Although there are 9 self-help tips, I'm just going to mention to you one more. Use positive self-talk. Positive self-talk. Now, anxiety can produce a lot of negative chatter, so tell yourself positive coping statements. So you might say something like this: this anxiety feels bad, but I can use strategies to manage it. So use positive self-talk. Things that's going to help you to think about it in a positive light and not just negatively. Okay? So just think about those strategies for the next time you may be struggling with anxiety, or you may know someone else that's struggling with it, another sister or aunt or cousin or friend that's suffering from it. Give them those tips. It will definitely help them. And of course, we want to thank, Margarita Tartavosky. Okay, I don't want to mess her name up, for the assistance from psychcentral.com. That's where I went to talk to you about those relief strategies. I always like to give credit where credit is due. Okay, so I just want to say thank you for listening in about, this topic of anxiety. I know tomorrow we're going to do things a little bit different. We're going to be shouting out some more entrepreneurs and career women who have been connected to this campaign, and we're appreciative of those women. But one of the things, of course, I am going to do and share with you is that we're going to start to do something a little bit differently, okay? Starting next week, okay, starting next week on Thursdays at 9 o'clock p.m., we may not necessarily have a full episode like we would normally have, but what we're going to do is for that week prior that we do an interview with some of the women during the Global Reality Show, we're going to allow you to hear the replay of their talk, of the interview, right here live on the platform. You're going to hear it. It's going to be uploaded, readily available for you to hear on Thursdays at 9 o'clock p.m. So we're going to try something different every week. We do have someone scheduled. So for example, if we don't have someone scheduled the week prior, and what we'll just do is just have a regular show, okay? But if we have someone scheduled, you're going to hear an interview instead of my voice on Thursdays at 9 o'clock p.m. Just being obedient because that's what was placed on my mind and in my heart as we were conducting the interview on tonight. All right. So again, thank you so much. Be sure to connect with this campaign. If you don't know how to connect with us and join the campaign, here's a way to do that. You simply go to www.born2lead2017.com. The spelling for that is www.borntolead2017.com to join in on the fun. If you're saying, well, Lakeisha, I want to bring a conference, convention, a talk, someone from this campaign to your country, to your neighborhood, to your women's club, right, or association, we would love to join you there. We'd love to connect with you to come together, like minds, to bring awareness to women's issues, to build female leaders globally, because that's what we're here to do. And that's what the Leadership TKO brand does. It partners. This brand is here to partner with associations, small businesses, universities, and the like to build winning leaders across the globe. So again, thank you so very much, everyone, for listening in. We're going to be back here tomorrow at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But until then, remember to think, speak, and live leadership.